It turns out that getting superpowers was that simple. All that was needed was to shout to the sky, "Axe come," and a blood-red battle axe would descend from above. The previously fragile boy just had to grab the weapon, and his entire body was flooded with power, like a reborn war god. This was an era of creepy invasions. Mysterious cracks kept appearing all over the world. Each one was full of monsters, danger at every corner. However, there were countless treasures inside as well. The boy's name was Luotian, an archer. He was not an awakened one with superpowers, but he was a skillful guide in these cracks. Next to him was Wanyu, his employer for this expedition. His mission was to find the Wind Spirit Pearl and deliver it to Miss Min. It was rumored that she was so stunning that anyone who saw her would fall madly in love. As they were moving forward, the team suddenly saw something strange. The ground in front was covered with human corpses. At the front, a terrifying beast was crouching over the bodies feasting. A mutated monster, phantom-headed panther. Her movement instantly caught his attention. "Careful, that thing is a max level 1 beast," someone shouted. In the blink of an eye, the panther disappeared. Its speed was too fast to follow. Only then did they realize that he had already evolved to level 2. Without warning, the beast swooped down and noticed one of the members. In an instant, that unfortunate soul was bitten to death. Luotian became his next target. At the critical moment, the rich young master stood in front of him. With a roar, he unleashed his skill, ape demon strength, and resisted the panther's claw with pure flesh and bone. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Luotian took out his bow, aimed directly at the creature's eye and released the arrow. A shriek tore the air as I was blinded. The ghost-headed panther went crazy, charging at them in a frenzy. Just then, the team's spearmen rushed to block the blow, but in the next instant, the beast's jaws began to glow with an ominous light. "No! He's about to unleash a sonic attack," someone shouted. It was already too late. A devastating sound wave exploded outward. Moments later, only Luotian was left standing. The rest of the team was lying unconscious on the floor. Now he was alone, unable to cope with the monster. "Damn beast, looks like I'm going to have to use that." Just as the phantom-headed panther's claw was about to strike Luotian, Luotian shouted to the sky, "Acha come." A jagged black lightning bolt streaked across the skies. A huge blood-red battle axe plummeted down. It crashed to the ground, smashing earth and stone. Luotian grabbed the blood-red axe. In the next instant, his muscles swelled, power flooded him. He raised the axe and charged at the phantom-headed panther. Leaping high, he brought down the axe with a crushing blow. The level 2 ghost-head panther was cut cleanly in half. Immediately after, he opened a pocket dimension and put away the blood-red axe. A heartbeat later, his body was an ordinary man again. Luotian thought to himself, "Power is intoxicating. Too bad the axe carries a murderous aura. If he stayed transformed too long, he would become nothing more than a killing machine." He looked at his badly injured employer. Quickly, he took out a mid-level healing vial from his backpack. Forced the vial into the employer's mouth. At that moment, a figure fell from the cliff above. It was Inspector Jian Biao of Black Rock City. "Luotian, so it's you." Jian Biao shouted. The scream sent cold sweat down Luotian's back. He hastened to reply, "Inspector, what do you mean by that?" Jian Biao said lightly, "Relax. I just felt a surge of wild energy." "Did that mysterious giant with the blood axe appear again?" Luotian hastened to explain. "Someone mysterious appeared, killed the beast and then disappeared." Jian Biao scoffed, "Stop acting. Hand over the axe. I can confirm this time, the giant with the blood axe is you." He fixed Luotian with a hard stare. "You're the son of the former patrol captain, Luo Feng's boy. In this world, monsters often spill out of the cracks, and every time they do, disaster follows. So every city has a patrol guard, composed of awake individuals, to sweep and defend the streets. Luotian's father, Luo Feng, once served as the patrol chief of Black Rock City. 3 years ago, however, he disappeared during a patrol. The only thing his father left to Luotian before he disappeared was this very battle axe. He had warned Luotian never to tell anyone about it. Jian Biao, barely hiding his astonishment, muttered, I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it. Laufen really left such a treasure to his son, then laughed greedily. Now that treasure will be mine. He pressed on. Tell me where you hid the axe or die. Luotian felt a shiver run through him and muttered, I really don't want this. Jian Biao's smile turned cold. If you insist on hiding it, so be it. With a spring in his feet, Luotian jumped directly on Jian Biao's head. He raised the axe and brought it down with brutal force. The impact sent Jian Biao flying into the cliff face behind him. Jian Biao staggered up and scoffed, so that's the blood-red lacha. No wonder an ordinary man can hit so hard. Now that you've exposed your secret, you won't get out alive. He planted his feet, and his arm began to change. Awakening, second stage, iron frame. Boy, do you really think that's gonna beat me? He roared. Luotian swung the axe again, but Jian Biao answered him blow by blow with his fists. Jian Biao laughed, it's not bad. Let's see how far you can go. Blow after blow from Luotian was received into Jian Biao's fists. No matter what angle Luotian hit from, he couldn't break through that defense. In the end, he poured every ounce of strength into a single punch that sent Jian Biao crashing. But a strange feeling crawled through his body. The murderous aura inside the blood-red axe was devouring him. If he remained transformed any longer, he would lose himself by becoming nothing more than a mindless murderer. Jian Biao sneered, Punk, it looks like you're finished. My iron frame hasn't broken yet. Cornered, Luotian looked for his last option, a small blue vial. He swallowed it in one gulp. An icy chill crept through him. The frost began to spread on the ground. A teammate shouted, Are you crazy? That's the vial of frost. Drink it and your soul will freeze completely. With his body almost immobilized, Luotian gritted his teeth and grabbed the blood-red axe. The frost was shattered. The power came back to him. Unleashed his ability, Ultimate Blood Blade Slash. A streak of blood light slid forward, running towards Zhang Biao. Light exploded in the sky, and a thunderous roar echoed through the canyon. When the dust settled, Luotian had already put the axe away in a pocket dimension. Half of Jian Biao's body had been shattered by that blow. He stared in disbelief, defeated by someone he had considered ordinary. When Luo approached, Jian Biao panicked and begged, Please don't kill me. The captain is hunting the axe for us right now. You won't beat him. Forgive me and I will help you. Luotian ignored the plea and advanced before another word could be said. Luotian plunged his sword into Jian Biao's heart and coldly said, You sure talk a lot. So even Ross, a high-level level to alarm clock, wants my axe, this is a problem. Since the disturbing invasion of Blue Star, the elites of humanity began to awaken powers. After the first awakening, the force was divided into 4 stages: basic, medium, high and maximum. And by the awakenings themselves, first awakening, second awakening, third, and so on. But Luotian never awakened any power. Every ounce of his strength came from the blood-red battle axe held together by the body of a mortal. He could only exert a strength on par with a level to beginner alarm clock. I had tried many times to wake up with power-up serums, but the axe always destroyed them. Deep down, he felt that the axe rejected such low-quality serums. That's why he became a guide, to depend on other awakened ones while searching for higher-grade power stones within the cracks. Now, his identity couldn't be hidden much longer. Before Ross found him, he had to wake up. After confirming that the rest of the team was safe, Luotian slipped away alone with the goal of tracking down the Wind Spirit Pearl. The scene changed. He entered a cave to rest. Although the frost inside him collided with the axe's murderous aura and was nullified, traces of cold remained. He needed a restful night to purge it. Just then, a huge spider crawled out of the depths. She lunged straight at him, only for an arrow to whistle through the darkness, pinning her to the wall. And so, Luotian spent the night in the cave. At dawn, fully recovered, he set off once more in search of the Pearl of the Wind Spirit. Behind him, the floor of the cave was littered with monster corpses. His journey took him to the dark fog forest. The place was plagued by max level 1 shadow mantises. Damn it! If I wasn't in such a hurry, I would take the long way, but now there is no choice.
He lit a bunch of reeds and threw it forward. Soon, a dense black smoke spread, driving the mantises away. Luotian took advantage of the moment and ran out. In a short time, he reached the core of the forest. A beginner level 2 elf lover was in full bloom. Luotian's eyes lit up, just as the information said, "I found it." Behind the elf lover was a cavern, said to be a shortcut to Thundercliff. This shortcut, I remember hearing my father mention it when I was a kid, Luotian thought. The problem now was how to deal with the elf lover blocking the way. Just then, a maximum level 1 fang beast rushed in. But the moment he got close to the elf lover, he froze in terror. From behind, a swarm of shadow mantises appeared. The beast had been driven here by the mantises. The clays of the elf lover shot out and caught the fang beast. In the blink of an eye, she was pushed inside the dazzling flower. Moments later, she was completely devoured. Luotian's eyes opened wide. Incredible. The shadow mantises are helping the elf lover to hunt. He muttered, "This just got worse. I'll have to wait for the right moment." Soon night fell and both the elf lover and the mantises fell into the support. Luotian took advantage of the opportunity by jumping out of the tree. His plan was to go straight through, but his movements woke up the mantises. Luotian instantly pulled out his bow. An arrow pierced the first attacker cleanly. The noise woke up the rest of the creatures around him. Luotian gritted his teeth and shouted, "There seems to be no way around it, then let's fight." With a roar, he summoned the blood-red battle axe from the void, transforming in an instant. His feet crashed to the ground. In the next second, he lunged forward and split an approaching mantis, then grabbed another by the head. With all his might, he threw her towards the elf lover. The elf lover went crazy, countless vines sprouting from the ground, whipping at him. Luotian cut the monsters with every blow. At the same time, he made his way into the cavern, shouted, "Get out of my way," unleashed his skill, Invincible Tornado, and threw every creature backward. Now only a few meters separated him from the cavern. However, the monsters behind refused to give in, pursuing him with murderous intent. Luotian turned, leaning the axe in front of him, using the whip of the vines to launch himself directly into the cavern. Inside, he quickly put the axe away, shrinking back to his fragile form. "Before those monsters chase me, I need to move fast." He ran forward, soon arriving at the exit of the cavern. So this is the legendary Thundercliff. The whole sky was filled with furious lightning. Every breath embraced with crackling current. Suddenly, a steel cut came screaming towards him. Luotian instantly summoned the blood-red battle axe to block. He barked, "Who's there? Show yourself." Out of the storm came Captain Ross of the patrol, smiling mockingly. "As I thought, the blood-red axe is in your hands. I've been waiting here half the day." Luotian's face darkened. "I didn't expect you to find me so quickly," Ross said coldly. "Hand her over. For your father's sake, I could let you live." Luotian replied, "If you want the axe, come and take it yourself." Ross lunged forward without hesitation. With a single blow, Luotian was thrown from his feet. Gritting his teeth, Luotian groaned, "Damn, I can't stop him at all." Ross smiled. "That axe really is impressive. Enough to give a mortal the strength of a beginner level 2. Then he roared, "Skill, Scorching Flame." His sword ignited, enveloped in blazing fire. Skill, Flame Cutting. A torrent of fire roared forward, sweeping directly at Luotian. The impact detonated with a deafening explosion. When the smoke cleared, Luotian emerged from the flames, his body still scorched by the fire. He took out 2 vials of frost and drank them in one gulp, his power increasing in an instant. Ross's eyes widened in disbelief. Impossible, that power is already at level 2 high. However, as the power swept through him, Luotian's body had already been pushed beyond its limits. He had to finish Ross off before his body collapsed, but no matter how he attacked, Ross slid to the side with ease. "My turn, triple flame cutting ability," Ross bellowed. 3 flaming arcs pierced through the air. With no other choice, Luotian threw himself off the cliff. Ross froze, stunned that he chose suicide. He ran to the edge and looked in. The abyss below stretched endlessly into the darkness. Just then, an arrow shot out. Standing burying herself in the rock on the cliffside, Luotian swung on a rope and jumped up. He landed perfectly on the trunk of a withered tree. Without pause, he swallowed a healing potion that quickly bound his wounds together. But his overloaded body could no longer sustain the transformation. Formation of the Blood Axe. At that moment, a figure glided over Glen Thundercliff. A long-haired woman floated in the air, pausing as her eyes fixed on Ross below. She was none other than Miss Min, the one Wong dreamed of pursuing. She had also come for the Pearl of the Spirit. Of the Wind. His flight was made possible thanks to his ability with the wind, which allowed him a brief levitation. As Luotian was pondering his next move, a flash on the distant cliff face caught his attention. Could it be a treasure? The excitement stirred. He pulled out his bow holding a string. Swaying, he propelled himself to the other side. Landing on the opposite cliff, he found. The glow was coming from a cavern. Inside, a crystal was pulsating with light. Incredible. It's a thunderstone. I was about to harvest Morven. A lightning bolt crashed down. Luotian rolled back, barely escaping. In an instant, the thunderstone was reduced to rubble. From a stone wall, a peak level 1 thunder lizard crawled out. The moment she saw him, she pounced. Luotian quickly raised his bow, releasing 3 arrows at his head. But the arrows barely scratched the crackling bow shield of the thunder lizard. When the beast pounced with its jaws gaping open, Luotian doubled back, sliding underneath in a desperate dodge. He thought grimly, damn, without transforming, my strength and speed can't match this thing. If I don't find a way, I'm finished. Suddenly, the thunder lizard jumped high, exposing its belly. Now, Liu Tian's eyes lit up. The weak points were at the joints where his limbs met the torso. Even with the gold defense, a direct hit would paralyze him. He pulled out and let go, arrows piercing the beast's joints. The thunder lizard fled as both forelimbs were skewered. A lightning bolt chaotically erupted from his body, lashing the cavern. I have to finish it now while he can't move. Luotian growled, then saw a huge rock on top of the beast. Dodging the wild boughs, he shot at the stone. 3 arrows struck in unison. The rock cracked and crashed, crushing the thunder lizard in the pulp. Luo Tian rushed over without hesitation, thrusting his sword through his skull. Finally, it's done. He exhaled. Without the land, I'd be the one who'd be dead. His gaze swept the cavern filled with thunderstones, curiosity burning with more force. He went deeper, dodging stray rays. Soon, a dazzling light shone ahead. When he got closer, he found himself in a vast chamber. Above, a wind tunnel opened to the outside world. Down below, the raw energy was churning. Floating in the air was the wind spirit pearl itself, but a raging storm was enveloping it, far beyond what it could take advantage of in its current state. And under the pearl, the lightning came violently. Luotian's eyes flashed with excitement. That's the Thunder Pond. So this was the truth. The wind and thunder cliffs, the endless windstorms, and the lightning come from the wind spear pearl and the Thunder Pond. When the first rays of the sun passed through the cavern, the pearl absorbed the light, and a strand of violet aura bloomed. At that instant, a flood dragon emerged from the Thunder Pond, its jaws gaping open as it swallowed the pearl whole. So that's it. Use the pearl to absorb the first breath of dawn aura. Moments later, the dragon spat out the pearl, sinking once more under the churning pond. Now it was clear, the pearl itself had been sired by the same dragon. Judging by his aura, he was a newborn level 3 beast. Good thing he hadn't made a reckless move. For now, all he could do was wait for the storm to weaken, and let the other skill users challenge the beast. Outside, more and more awakened fighters gathered on the cliff. Miss Min soon arrived as well. She stated, "Everyone, such phenomena only mean that there are treasures inside. I'm just looking for the wind spirit pearl, grant me that." Ross took a step forward with a mocking smile. "Miss Min, your record may be impressive, but the wind spirit pearl is a treasure that everyone desires. Let's see who can claim it." His words prompted immediate cheers of agreement. Miss Min's face darkened at the betrayal. All right, Captain Ross. I will remember this. I hope he will continue to be so bold. With that, he plunged straight into the raging storm. The other skill users became agitated, shouted after her. The treasure is mine as they were charging. But the moment they entered, horror struck. The core of the mountains was full of thunder lizards. Seeing the danger, Ross shouted, "Form lines, work together, or we are finished." The proposal was quickly accepted by the crowd, but Miss Min coldly refused. "I will not stoop to fight alongside insignificant men like you." With those words, Miss Nin launched herself against the horde alone. His movements were lightning fast, dodging every blow. In the blink of an eye, the beasts fell in waves under his sword. The other skill users, not wanting to be outdone, also charged. Everyone knew that the treasure was ahead. Waiting meant losing him. At some point, Wan Yu and Captain Gao Yuan's rich heir forced their way through as well. But Wan Yu's strength was pitiful. If it wasn't for Gao Yuan protecting him with his life, he would have been struck by lightning by now. Gil twisted Wang Yu's face. "I didn't expect such powerful beasts right at the beginning. Captain Gao, this is all my fault." Then, 4 thunder lizards pounced on them at once. At the critical moment, Miss Min swept by cutting them off in an instant. She snapped, "Wang Yu, what are you doing here?" Wang Yu stammered, "Miss Min, I came to help you get hold of the wind spirit pearl," but she coldly turned away before she could finish. "Come back. This place is not for you." With the skill users unleashing all their power, the thunder lizards were soon slaughtered to the last. Just as the crowd was starting to relax, several fiery thunderballs fell from the sky. They exploded in the middle of the fighters, sowing chaos in the ranks. When the smoke cleared, a colossal thunder lizard king stood before them. "Top level to Thunder Lizard King. We have to fight together," someone shouted, but Miss Min refused again. The wind enveloped her as she soared towards the B-side, channeling every gram of wind energy into her sword. She roared, "Skill, cutting wind, instant death." A single slash split the beast in half. Gasps were heard as everyone witnessed the impossible. A monster king fell with a single blow. Ross narrowed his eyes, fear sinking into him. This power had already reached level 3. The next fight for the treasures would be brutal. With the Beast King dead, the crowd headed towards the top. In a short time, they reached the top of the mountain. The wrestlers crowded into the mouth of the face, Averns craning his neck to see what was underneath. Down there, Lotion had been waiting for some time, whispering to himself, "Finally, you have come," to avoid being discovered. He sealed the small tunnel behind him with stones and hid inside watching the scene unfold. Soon, Miss Min descended first. His eyes instantly fixed on the wind spirit pearl floating in the center. However, his instincts kicked in, something was wrong. He quickly took a few steps back. This pearl is not right. Normally, she'd be hiding out in a storm, never floating outdoors like that. Still, greed overcame some, and they rushed to snatch her. At that instant, a bolt of lightning burst out of the pond, hitting a skill user above, and charring him to ashes. More lightning strikes followed, knocking down several others in the blink of an eye. Someone barked, "There is a mighty beast under this pond. We'll have to work together to have a chance until that monster is eliminated. Anyone who reaches the pearl dies." To everyone's surprise, Miss Min agreed this time. The wrestlers gathered at the edge of the pond to work out a strategy. After a heated debate, they decided to send a sacrificial pawn to reach the pearl. As long as they blocked the blows together, the beast would blindly reveal itself. Under the threat of Ross, the unfortunate pawn was forced to climb the cliff wall. Just as he was about to touch the wind spirit pearl, lightning once again erupted from the thunder pond. The fighters unleashed their ultimate skills, barely holding back the barrage, believing they were seconds away from success. The pawn froze as a massive form emerged behind him. The creature devoured him and the pearl in one bite. Gasps were heard. It was a flood dragon. His roar broke the air, and a lightning storm fell, shattering the temporary alliance instantly. Damn, that beast is already level 3. If we want the treasure, We have to kill it first, someone shouted. The dragon turned and dived towards the pond. Ross reached out his hand to block it. A torrent of fire exploded over the surface of the water, stopping the dragon's retreat, but the act only enraged him even more. With a violent twist, the huge tail of the dragon headed towards Ross. The blow threw him against the cliff face with crushing force. The old man Mogramo, save him. If we let this thing take us out one by one, we're finished. The fighters unleashed their powers, striking the dragon's tail. The old man didn't charge, pulling his tail away and dragging Ross to free him. At that moment, the strongest of all, Miss Min, finally moved. He coldly declared, "The pearl of the wind spirit is in the belly of that dragon. I'll kill him and take the prize. Who dares to fight by my side?" No one spoke. All eyes were fixed on a crash ahead. In the next instant, the torrential dragon unleashed a wave of lightning towards Miss Min. She brandished her sword, summoning the ability of wind blade, void rupture. The attacks collided in the air with a deafening boom that threw her backwards. She wedged her sword into the ground just in time, discharging the force. Ross stared in disbelief. Did she block him? The lightning of that monster. Did she really block him? A burly fighter shouted, "That beast is not invincible. Count me in, Miss Nin. We've come this far. We are not leaving empty-handed." Miss Min pulled out a shiny artifact. "This thunder dragon has reached the middle stage of level 3. Alone, I can't match it. This is a level 3 relic, the low net. Everyone, cast the net together. Catch him, and I'll deal the death blow." At his command, the golden net burst, spreading widely over the dragon. The dragon roared and turned to flee, feeling the danger. Miss Min started the flight in pursuit, shouting, "Try to run now, dream." But suddenly, she hesitated as if she felt something close. Deep in a crack in the rocks, Lotion held his breath. "No, don't tell me he noticed me." Meanwhile, Miss Min caught up to the dragon and stabbed him fiercely. The beast retaliated by spitting out a massive sphere of lightning. Calm and collected, Miss Min took out a wind crystal. She crushed him. The energy surged around his body like a cyclone. "Skills, Stormfall," he roared. A colossal beam of light pierced through the air, shattering the dragon's thunderball. The wave continued to hit the dragon's chest. The lightning went straight through his neck. Blood exploded in the air as the injured dragon screamed in agony. Everyone took the opportunity to finish off the injured beast by pulling the straw net around the dragon. "Don't give up, don't give a chance to escape," someone shouted. Miss Min jumped high, landing on the dragon's back. He raised his sword, ready for the deadly blow. Skill, Wind Blade, God Piercer. His sword shot out like lightning. In that instant of life or death, the dragon roared and shattered the net, releasing its central thunder source to counter the blow. A deafening explosion followed. The impact was like a nuclear explosion. The shockwave threw everyone against the cliff walls, their fate uncertain. The torrential dragon collapsed into the thunder pool, barely breathing. He had exhausted his own life force. Miss Min fared little better. Blood gushed from his lips as he fell to his knees. Then, with a final effort, the dragon opened its sparkling eyes. In his last breath, he spat out the wind spirit pearl, refusing to let such a treasure fall into the hands of humans. Miss Min desperately reached for her, but Ross pounced in front of her. "Don't blame me, Miss Min. A treasure like this belongs to me." Fury flashed in his eyes. "Ross, you're courting death." When Ross reached the pearl, she untied the wind blade. Instant death, one clean hit, and Ross was gone. The attack exhausted the last of his strength. He spat out blood, his life force collapsing. He could no longer stand up and began to fall. From the shadows, Lotion burst out, instantly transforming and reaching for the pearl. His hand closed over her. The pearl of the wind spirit was his. He stuck the blood axe into the cliff to stop his fall. "I got it," he thought grimly, "but now I'm everyone's target." Without hesitation, he ran towards the exit. "Such carnage," he muttered. "If he hadn't found that hidden tunnel, he'd be dead like the rest." A system alert echoed in his mind, transformation time expiring. Luthien threw himself into a dense forest, panting. I should be safe here for now. So this is the Pearl of the Wind Spirit. What an amazing treasure. If I use it as an awakening stone, I'm sure I'll finally be able to awaken my ability, but not yet. I need an absolutely safe and hidden place before starting the ritual. The secret of my transformation with the blood axe was known only to Ross, and he was killed by Miss Min. Which means, as long as I don't transform, no one will know I took the pearl. Just then, Miss Mina appeared before me out of nowhere, almost stopping my heart. Before he could react, he coughed up another mouthful of blood. He leaned weakly on his sword and collapsed on one knee. No, don't get me wrong, I gasped. I'm not here to steal your pearl. I want to make a deal. Take this. It's the demon core of the thunder dragon I killed. Its value far exceeds that of the wind spirit pearl. You have no aura of awakened power. You plan to wake up with the pearl, right? Trust me. The demonic core works much better. I stared at the glowing orb in his hand, not knowing what to think. So, the blood axe growled in my mind, consume it. Now, my heart took a turn. So she is telling the truth, even the axe wants it. How did you find me? I asked. My ability is based on the wind, he murmured weakly. As long as I'm close enough, I can feel the location of the pearl. Relieved, I nodded. So it wasn't my secret that had been exposed. I took the deal. Miss Mines smiled slightly. Thank you. The wind spirit pearl means a lot to me. While we were exchanging items, she looked at the pearl and finally let out a sigh of relief. The next second, his body went limp, and he collapsed on the floor. Hey, are you okay? I screamed, running next to him. I checked his pulse, completely unconscious. Incredible. Even someone like her can fall. She must have been more hurt than I thought. Better to avoid trouble, I thought. Tom will leave while he can. But when I turned to leave, I couldn't ignore the injured girl lying there. Ah, damn it. I sighed, lifting her on my back. I guess he's lucky. I can't let a beauty die here. In a short time, I found a small cave and set up camp. A while later, Miss Mina slowly opened the eyes. She looked at me confused, trying to sit up. Why did you save me? He asked weakly. You could have taken the wind spirit pearl and every treasure I carry. I smiled. I'm no saint, but I'm not the type to rob someone half dead. Let's say I have a weakness for good deeds. She managed a slight smile. My name is Min Lan. Nice to meet you. I held out my hand. Lotion, nice to meet the prettiest survivor I've ever come across. I know a secret ritual, he said gently. It can completely awaken the thunder dragon's demonic core. Once I recover, I will help you. With the quality of that core, you could awaken a king rank ability. I froze. That was beyond what I expected. Saving her was turning out to be the best decision of my life. While we were grilling some meat, he asked, do you know that there are ranges for skills? Right? Of course. I answered. Lower, middle, upper, and king rank skills. That's right. She nodded, but there is another rank of God. Only the legends mention it. Skill rank doesn't just affect power. Limit how far you can grow. Weight limits. I blinked. I've never heard that before. She chuckled. You're from Blackrock City. It's a bit provincial. Those who awaken a lower rank skill are limited to level 1, they can never advance. The middle range can reach level 3, while the top rank can grow up to level 6. King rank abilities reach level 9. Rank of God. Unknown for now. Min Lan continued. Even the strongest in Blackrock City is only at the top level 3. Because he awakened a rank ability. He reached his limit. In remote places like Blackrock, awakening higher ranks is almost impossible. Not only because high-ranked awakening relics are rare, but because the proper awakening rites are missing. Lotion felt immense relief. Saving her had been the right decision. Even with the Thunder Dragon's demon core, without the right thing, he might have never woken up. Minlin gently said, I will use my family's secret ritual to help you wake up as payment for saving me. But you must keep it a secret. 3 days later, Min Lan had prepared the matrix. It was called the Moonlight Awakening Matrix, a ritual that under the tranquility of midnight and guided by the moonlight, refines the soul and amplifies perception 100 times. She looked at Luotian sitting in the circle and said, "Only this will allow you to truly feel the essence inside a relic of awakening and absorbing it. Are you ready? I'm activating the matrix." With that, he released his wind ability. The matrix turned on. Mystical runes came to life. The energy engulfed Luotian. The feeling was almost momentous. Minglin whispered in his ear, "Don't lose focus. Feel the power inside the Thunder Dragon's demon core. Get closer to him, merge with him." The thunderous power of the demon core poured into the spot between his eyebrows. In an instant, Luotian was inside a strange internal domain, everywhere crackling with primordial lightning. This must be the Thunder Dragon's core. He realized that the lightning here was the very essence of the creature. He extended his hand, tentatively attracting the core ray. To his surprise, the essence did not respond destructively. Instead, it felt absorbable. He felt a slight increase in strength. Is this waking up? He pushed harder by quickly consuming the lightning essence. The lightning whirled around him as he absorbed it. Under his relentless tug, the demon core finally dissolved, completely absorbed. Power flooded his body, old wounds closed. Someone shouted, "Luotian, are you awake? How's the awakening going?" He replied, "It went well. The lightning feels like an extension of my arms, easy to command. But why is it blue? I felt a violet thunder in the core." Minlan replied, "That's normal. You just woke up. You can't completely master a king rank skill yet, so it won't show its full power." He asked about the injuries. Minlan waved a hand. "I'll be fine, but try your new power on me. Let's see what you can do." With that, Luotian threw a tentative ray of his newly awakened ray at her. Minlan commented, "Not bad. That lightning is strong. He has just woken up and has already reached the maximum level 1, but he has no technique. His punches are scattered and unfocused. She needs more practice." Hearing that, Luotian smiled, summoning his blood axe. "So, how about this movement?" The sudden transformation left Minlan momentarily frozen. Seizing the opportunity, Luotian brandished the axe, channeling the lightning through her as he lunged at her. But Minlan recovered quickly, raising his sword and unleashing his wind ability to block the attack. Boom! The impact sent her skidding several meters backwards. He stabilized almost immediately. "That transformation of yours," she said in amazement. "When combined with lightning, your power doubles. I almost couldn't stop that. You are already fighting at a higher level too." Luotian discarded the axe and smiled. "I guess I got lucky." Minlan smiled back at him, but he spoke seriously. "King rank abilities are extremely rare. Out of every 10,000 alarm clocks, maybe one will get it, but they always grant a unique secondary power. For example, my mastery of the wind allows me to fly. Keep training and you will discover your own special trait." "Wait, really? I thought all wind users could fly." When Luotian said that, Ninglan let out a laugh. If that were true, the sky would be crowded. She sheathed her sword and said, "I should go. Luotian, you have awakened a king rank ability, and you wield the very blood axe. Your potential is unlimited. Come to Star City. Only there can you truly grow. Blackrock City is too small for you now." Luotian nodded firmly. "I'll come." He had hardly spoken when he rose into the air. His voice echoed from the sky. "Don't forget about little Loten, I'll be waiting for you." Looking at the horizon, Loten murmured, "Star City, I will get there." 2 days later, he arrived at the exit of the secret kingdom. "That's weird," he muttered, "there's no one around. Usually this place is full of woke people. Too quiet. Not even birds," he frowned. Then a voice came from the shadows. "Luotian, at last." Luotian turned to see Danson casually leaning against a rock wall smiling. "It took you long enough. Closing this portal almost exposed me. Were you waiting for me?" Luotian asked coldly. "I don't even know you." Moden Sang chuckled. "Don't you know me? Does the patrol chief's son play dumb? Come on, kid. Old Man Mo is a name that everyone in Blackrock knows." Moden Sang scoffed. "Hand over the pearl of the wind spirit. For your father's sake, I will forgive you." Luotian coldly replied, "Believe it or not, I already gave the pearl to Miss Min." Modong Cheng went into a rage. Stubborn fool, kill him, then the pearl will be mine. His hands shone with a golden light as he channeled his mid-range skill, fist down, and punched Luotian. Luotian replied without hesitation. He summoned the blood axe, transformed and exchanged blows with it. Axe against fist, even. Boy, I didn't expect you to be so strong, but this is over now. Mo Danson grunted. A moment later, countless golden fists emerged in an obvious attempt to finish off Luotian. Luotian roared back, hitting the axe and channeling lightning. If you want to die, don't blame me. Perfect. Your death will fuel my latest technique. Instant thunder cut, fatal strangulation, he declared. The fists that filled the sky were cut off by the blood axe. Before Moden Seng could recover, the axe crashed into him. A tremendous explosion shook the area. Looking at his damaged hand, Moden Seng stammered, "Impossible. Your aura is new. You shouldn't be so strong." That hit almost reached the maximum levels of level 2. How could he be so powerful? He gasped. Inside, the other. Tan smiled. Just a few days ago, he couldn't face Ross. He had now defeated a powerful tier 2 high level. The taste of that growth was intoxicating. Luotian leveled the blood axe at him. "How did you know my identity?" he sued. Moden Chong begged. "I'll tell you, please don't kill me. Ross told me the secret before he died. If I could get it back, I would have never known." Luotian's gaze turned cold. "I was hoping that Modenson would be the last to know the secret of the blood axe." Mercilessly, he ended Mo Danson's life. Go in peace. Secrets die with the dead, he thought grimly. Afterwards, Luotian left the secret realm. On the way out, a man challenged him. "Boy, wasn't the portal sealed by Modensen? How did you get out?" Luotian's eyes flashed red as he warned. "Don't ask what you shouldn't. Watch your tongue if you value your life." The man trembled at the sight, visibly agitated. Seeing Luotian's retreating figure, the man muttered, "What a terrifying look, full of murderous intent." A little later, Luotian checked his phone, with agitated thoughts. Luotian looked at his phone, 75 missed calls from Uncle Lin. He quickly returned the call, but before he could say a word, Uncle Lin's angry voice exploded over the speaker. "Little brat, you finally decided to call me. You disappeared in that secret realm for more than 10 days. I thought you were dead. I even sent people to look for you." "I'm sorry, Uncle Lin," Luo said sheepishly. "There's no signal in there. Was it something urgent?" Uncle Lin sighed. "Nothing too serious. Just get some rest and come see me tomorrow." Hanging up, Luo Tian exhaled. 10 days into the secret realm of Blackcrack, but he had made it. He had awakened his ability. Looking at the night lights of Blackcrack City, the world felt distant and unreal. First home, he thought. I need a good night's sleep. The next morning, his alarm went off at full volume. Half asleep, Luotian struck with his fist. Alarm destroyed. He let himself fall back on the bed. Another alarm started to sound. Another blow silenced her. Soon all the clocks in the room joined in the chorus. Luotian straightened up shouting, "Enough already." Rubbing his forehead, he muttered, "I can't sleep anymore. I have to see Uncle Lin." She got dressed and washed in record time. Moments later, he ran out the door. "Shit, I'm gonna be late." A taxi driver waved. "Hey kid, do you need a ride?" Luotian smiled and shook his head. "Thanks, but I'll pass. Why bother with taxis?" He thought, "I'm an alarm clock now." Wave of lightning all around him. Its speed 10 times faster than before. In the blink of an eye, he arrived at the Alarm Clock Association. The moment Luotian entered the association hall, Uncle Lin rushed over to slap him on the shoulder forcefully. "Little brat, you finally decided to show up. You had me very worried." Luotian chuckled. "Uncle Lin, were you looking for me? What's going on?" Uncle Lin smiled mysteriously, taking out a small box from his coat. "Yes, I have something good for you." He opened it to reveal a blue crystal that glowed faintly. "The skill stone is of the first quality among the mid-level ones. It took me a lot of effort to get it. Try it. See if it helps you wake up." Lowell quickly waved his hands. "It's not necessary, Uncle Lin. I don't need it anymore." "What is this?" "Think about the mid-level stones below you now." Uncle Lin arched an eyebrow. "Of course not." Luoshan said seriously, it's beautiful. You have helped me get so many stones over the years. Even if they didn't work out, I've never forgotten your kindness. Uncle Lin crosses his arms. So why are you rejecting this one? Relax, I can afford it. After all, I am a level 3 alarm clock and the president of the association. Luoshan smiled slightly. Actually, I've already woken up. Uncle Lin froze and then burst into laughter. What? Did you wake up? That's fantastic. What is the rank of your skill? Luoshan smiled, enjoying the moment. King rank. What? Uncle Lin's eyes widened. King rank, are you serious? Without warning, he threw a test kick. Let's see that. Luoshan easily dodged once, twice, 3 times. Not a single blow landed. With a smile, Luoshan let a lightning bolt come out of his fingers, lightly touching Uncle Lin's foot. Oh, Uncle Lin muttered as his body stiffened, frozen in place. Luoshan laughed. Uncle Lin, why are you suddenly doing splits? Uncle Lin's face twitched. Brat, stop laughing, and help me up now. Uncle Lin was amazed. King Rank's abilities are extraordinary. You just woke up, and have already reached the maximum level 1. Even without using my power, I can't suppress you. If your dad knew, he'd be ecstatic. Luoshan asked Uncle Lin about my father. Do you know where he went? He recalled, when he disappeared, everyone assumed that he was dead, but I never believed that it was so simple. If he's still alive, I don't know. Luod added. Back then he and I ventured into a strange secret kingdom, and were caught up in a catastrophe. Thousands of alarm clocks inside died. Only my father and I survived. Thanks to the blood axe we found there. Uncle Lin shook his head. You were repressed by the blood axe, and could not wake up. Your father was not satisfied with that. It is likely that he was chasing clues back to that realm. Luoshan insisted. Can you tell me where that kingdom is? Uncle Lin took out a small box, the runic seal box, and said, I knew you would ask. Drop a drop of blood on her. Luoshan ordered, pricking his finger and dropping a drop on the box. Uncle Lin gravely said, I have encoded the kingdom data inside this box. It will only open once you get over me. Reach level 4. Do not try to open it prematurely. If you're not strong enough, going in would be suicide, he warned. Luoshan grabbed the box and said, Thank you, Uncle Lin. I understand. Uncle Lin patted him on the shoulder. Now that you have awakened, you should study the skills systematically. Any plans? Luoshan replied, to go to the Star City Skill Academy. It is one of the best in the South. Your father and I attended. Just as listeners, but if you come in, I'd be proud. Soon, Luodian boarded the high-speed train bound for Star City. As she was closing her eyes to rest, a man next to her got up and said, Excuse me, would you mind if I come out for a moment? Luotian got up and moved to let him pass, but something fell down. He shouted, Wait a second. The man turned around. Yes, what's the matter? Luoshan demanded. You stole something, and you plan to leave with it. The man panicked. What are you talking about? I'm suing you for defamation. Luoshan replied. Then explain why this wallet is in your pocket. The man struggled, pleading. You're an alarm clock. Interfering in civil affairs is not appropriate. Luoshan was speechless. Can you even hear yourself? You stole my wallet, man. When a train stopped, he handed the thief over to the police. Just as he was about to leave, a voice shouted from behind. Hey, we're just doing a good deed back there. Luoshan turned around in bewilderment. Do I know you? A handsome young man approached with a smile. You're a Luoshan, aren't you? I'm Chunao. Uncle Lin sent me to pick you up. Luoshan shook his hand. Nice to meet you, Brother Ao. Thanks for coming. Inside, he muttered. So this flashy guy is the Uncle Chunao I mentioned. Chunao casually waved. It's not a big deal. I was the only official Black Rock City student at the Star City Skill Academy. Now that you're here, I have company. On the way, Luodian briefly explained the pickpocket incident. Sunao burst out laughing. Wait, so you weren't being heroic, were you robbed? A powerful alarm clock that has its wallet stolen. That's new. To change the subject, Luoshan seriously asked, Brother Ao, how is the entrance exam for the academy? Any advice? Senao smiled. Exam. You don't need one. The king rank ability is the ultimate pass. Just stand in front of the test panel, and the admission officers will adore you like a celebrity. Soon, they arrived at the Star City Skill Academy. At the gate, a security guard got out and stopped Chunao's sports car. Chunao frowned. "Yo, you're stopping my car." The guard coldly replied, "That's right. The last time you crashed into a barrier, the student council banned you from driving on campus." Chunao cursed under his breath. "The Getchmenlin must have reported me again." The guard picked up his tape recorder. "Oh, are you calling the discipline minister a witch? How about that on the tape?" Chunao froze. "No. Big brother, it was wrong." "All right. Totally my fault." He quickly pulled out a pack of cigarettes. "Here, take this. Consider my apology." "All right." The guard scoffed. "Bribery too. That's an extra offense." Finally, they took a walk around the campus. Luotian looked around and asked, "Brother Ao, what's wrong with this Minglin? You seem a little scared of her." Chen Ao rolled his eyes. "Scared? About that? We are classmates in the second year. She is the head of the discipline division of the student council. Cold as ice, without any mercy. Even his own classmates are punished. And if you argue, he will beat you to the ground." Luotian blinked. "Wait a minute. You can actually hit people on campus." Shinao sighed. "You'll learn it soon. In this academy, strength is everything. Technically, fighting is forbidden, but call it a training duel, and boom, it's all good. The council decides it's a duel or a beating." He mumbled it. "Man, that's brutal. Is there even justice here?" Senao groaned. "Justice? Please? I barely reached level 2, and she jumped to level 3 last week. Total monster." Luotian finally understood. So that's why Minlin fought for the Wind Spirit Orb, to overcome his limits. He was as fierce in the academy as he was on the field. No wonder Chunao looked traumatized. Shinao pointed forward. "That's the new student assessment center. Go take the test. It's just a formality. I'll wait for you outside, and I'll show you your residence later." Liu Odiana felt, entered and handed a form to the staff. "Excuse me, sir. I'm here for the entrance examination." The instructor looked at the form. "You're a little late. Registration closed more than a month ago." Then his eyes suddenly opened. The form said, "Name, Luotian, skill rank, King. Are you Luotian? The one who woke up the King rank lightning?" The teacher jumped to his feet, shaking Luotian's hand. "Quick, let's try it. If that's true, I'll sign you up right away." Luotian raised his hand. Lightning crackled in his palm. The detector flashed with a blinding blue light. "It's real," the instructor gasped. "A genuine King rank, and one of the strongest guys to boot." Laughing with excitement, he said, "We still have a special admission quota left. Perfect timing. I'll take care of your admission right now." But suddenly, a cold voice interrupted. "Stop." A well-dressed man in a formal suit appeared at the door, with piercing eyes fixed on Luotian.